How's everybody doing today? Oh man, so got up this morning and wasn't feeling quite well. Felt a little down from yesterday. I actually had off, so I just sort of moseyed around the house, did some laundry, and watched a movie about Bill Russell and some of the challenges that he had playing basketball as one of the most iconic figures and trendsetters in the history of the NBA and what I would say sports, professional sports in general. It was very inspiring, so that uplifted my spirit some. And so, getting on this podcast, I'm sorry, this YouTube stream, and thinking about what I wanted to talk about. I believe it would be very important for me to stay very transparent with a challenge that I'm personally dealing with, which is fighting against negative moods and negative emotions. So I thought that a great topic would be how to change moods, um, negative moods into positive thoughts, and turning those thoughts into to actions that would bring a better outcome for the life ultimately that you want to live. And so I wanted to sort of share with you what I wrote in my journal this morning. And again, this is a journal that I created. It's very comprehensive. It's called the Me Nobody Sees Dreams, Career, and Lifestyle Journal. And in order for anybody to fulfill a dream that they want out of life, they're always going to be dealing with the subconscious and what it is that is trying to hold them captive to things that they have experienced in their past. And if your mind can do that, it will keep you captive from moving forward. It'll slow you down, and ultimately it'll try to drown you out and strangulate you from moving forward in anything that you want to do, whether it be personally and or professionally. And so I looked on the emotional feeling wheel this morning, and I wanted to find out, what word would identify with what I was feeling. And so this is the feeling wheel that I actually had inside of my journal. And over here, this is the mood tracker where I can actually write down, as you can see in that circular wheel, it's from day 1 till day 30, 31, which is usually the month of days in any given month. And I can actually write down on a certain specific day, both in the AM and in the PM, what I'm feeling. And so today, I wrote down debilitated. So the word that I was actually looking at was the word helpless. And so I really didn't feel helpless. Because to me, helpless is like a damsel in distress and someone that really, they can't do anything for themselves. Like totally, incapacitated, not able to do anything. And so that wasn't quite the word that I could really say that I was feeling. So I went in the dictionary in my phone and I began to look through words, and a word that was close was the word debilitate. And so the definition term for debilitating means to be weak and to be infirm. To be in a form of being tiring or draining. And for me, that was more of how I was feeling drained. And so I had to go back and begin to really think about what was it that was draining me? What was it that has been making me feel tired? And if anyone knows about the the process of getting tired, of feeling drained, it doesn't happen, overnight. There's usually a series of things that actually go on in a person's life, whether it be that month or that week or throughout the last several days, that has gotten to them to the point of just wanting to just give up. And so as I begin to think, I begin to realize that, I have been, dealing with some financial issues as I went through a divorce some years ago. And my credit score had dropped 50 points. I was almost at a 700, and my credit score had dropped, below 50 points. I think it was like 680 something. I think I was like around 680 something. So it dropped down to like 630 something. And then the war happening with Russia and Ukraine, and interest rates was going up. And then I got into a car accident after the 50-point plunge in my credit score. And then I had to go and apply to get a new car. And during the time that I went to apply to get a new car, I had the auto accident, and then I also wasn't able to work, and I had started a new position, and I didn't have enough PTO time, as well as vacation times to cover the several months that I was out. And I was out for about 3 months, so I had used up that, and then one of my credit cards went under as well. And so I had a series of all of these different things happening to me at once. And as you can see, some of these things were like totally out of my control. Like, my ex-wife filing for bankruptcy, the war in Ukraine, the, me getting in the auto accident, which I was totally not at fault, but here it is. I'm actually a victim of circumstance, not having enough time with my work to be able to cover. And so my credit card got hit. So now I'm like actually below, rather than being at, climbing the ladder to get to the 700, I'm actually getting ready to hit, the high 500s. Like I'm literally like getting ready to hit like 590, 597, something like that. And so when I begin to think of these things and that had been happening to me, I can, like I said, the word debilitating means being drained and tiring, being tired. You can actually see the series of things that actually had happened to me one by one. And so now, as it is, and today, April the 7th, 2023, I'm sitting up there laying in the bed and I'm thinking about, needing to, to get out of this situation, wanting to get out of the situation, going to get out of this situation. And I realized that, yesterday, actually throughout this week, that I got to begin to fight, punch, and swing my way out of this by any means necessary. I just cannot sit there and allow myself to mire and to drown in a situation where I just totally give up and allow things to even get worse, and to allow my self-esteem to get caught up in things that's pretty much a lot of this I didn't have control of. I mean, things were just happening, right? In the external, not internal, because I was actually managing, my life, paying my credit. I'm driving, being safe, driving defensively, going to work on time, paying my credit card bills. And then now all of these additional things outside of me, outside of my person, outside of this entity are happening. And then now I am affected by it. And so I realized yesterday, after watching, Bill Russell, he had a lot of things that he was dealing with racially. with his body, beginning to age, and people speaking down to him and making him feel a certain type of way, attacking him and his family, right? He could have stayed in that situation, but what he chose to do was he chose to go within to begin to change the things that were happening to him outwardly. And so what I realized this morning was that I was going to get up and I'm going to take this. I'm going to take you with me as I go into the kitchen because I have to get these cookies out of the oven. All right. And so what I realized was that I wasn't going to stay in that situation of feeling depressed and feeling down and just going somewhere and sitting and they're ready to come out and just sitting somewhere and just drinking and smoking my life away, right? Like a lot of times we could just do that, right? We could just go and begin to just drink alcohol and get high and do all of these things, right? When a person's back is up against the wall, the first thing that they do is they go to the most comfortable thing that they know, right? Which is to do what they normally did, right? What they used to do, right? But there's a quote that says, when I was a child, I acted as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things, right? When I was a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man or a woman, I put away childish things. And so, and I'm not going to say that I'm not going to go and have a drink, right? And I'm not even going to say that I may or may not smoke like a hookah or maybe a cigar, because I do it from time to time. But because I'm a person that loves fitness, I don't allow myself to get inundated or to over exaggerate in these type of things, right? Because I have children that I have to take care of. I have 2 automobiles. I sold my home, but I'm in the process of, within the next year, looking to purchase another home. I have a speaking platform. I'm an author. I have a public presence online. I have an online presence, right? So people look up to me. And so I have kids, also have, I have grandkids, And so I have a lot of things that, as well as responsibilities that I'm accountable for. But more importantly, I understand that as a mature man at this age and at this stage of my life, I have to be accountable for myself and the outcomes that I want to continue to have, which are ones of success, despite the fact that things will happen from time to time. I am a success story. I am a person that has risen above a lot of things that a lot of people have just totally given up on and quit it. And so I got up this morning and I did some stretching and I took out the trash and I watched some motivational stuff on YouTube. And then I began to look at scripture and I began to write down in the journal how I was feeling down, feeling funky about myself, not feeling motivated. But then after that, the next thing I did was I began to look at words that were the opposite of the negative feeling. So I took the cookies out. So let me go back over here right now and share this with you before I close. And so, I wrote, I was feeling debilitated, and like I said, I had went through the experience of my ex-wife's bankruptcy and the job situation that was out of my control. My credit score went under. Interest rates went up, and as I put in the journal, my esteem doesn't feel good, and these incidents have weakened me through worry, sadness, and confusion on how to get myself out of this situation. And so, adding my tax situations, in which I have several years that I hadn't filed because, during a divorce and then a child support situation that I was also dealing with. I had to protect my assets, right? And I'll talk to you guys about that in another YouTube stream. But the one thing that I understand that as being an intelligent person now is that there's always a flip side to any situation. There's always an opposite way to see your situation or circumstance. And so now, being more experienced, being someone that's a facilitator, someone that's a coach, someone that's a motivator and a teacher by nature, I understand that words create emotional experiences. I understand that words are power. There's a saying that goes, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me." But what I want to say is that actually sticks and stones may break your bones, but words can help you to kill yourself. That words can hinder you psycho-emotionally from moving yourself out of a situation or circumstance that can literally annihilate your human existence, much less break a bone. Words can keep you captive. Words can strangulate you. Words are so dangerous that if you say something offensively to someone, that they may want to kill you, get rid of you, shut your situation and circumstance down. One that may have been positive, one that may have been feeding you. Saying something to the wrong person, a word, can totally take you out of here. And so words are very powerful. And so I understood at this higher level of frequency that I'm at right now as an intellectual is that I needed to find a better word, a word that could help me, right, to get myself out of this psycho-emotional mire that I was in. And so I said to myself, I need to look at words that are opposite of what I am feeling to give me a different reference and way to change my feelings. And if I can get a different feeling, I can get a different thought. If I can get a different thought, that will bring me to step into a different action. And then that action can create a better result. And so what I chose to do was I chose to focus on a word that was opposite of being debilitated, and that word was restorative. And so let's look at what the word restorative means. The word restorative means having the ability to restore health, strength, or a feeling of well-being. And so, not having good credit because of situations and circumstances that are happening to you is something that doesn't make you feel well, but it doesn't have to put you in a state of not having well-being, right? Because there are things that you can do. And so in order for me to activate the well-being, as it relates to being restorative, I got up and I began to listen to some scripture, right, from the word of God. I began to say some emotional, I began to say some self-help quotes to myself. So number one, the number one tip is to journal, right? Number two is to find a word that's opposite of the negative feeling or emotion that you're dealing with. Actually go into the dictionary and actually find another word. Find the meaning to that word. Number three, you can actually YouTube that meaning and how to use that word, right? So if you're feeling down and you want to feel restorative, you can type into YouTube, the YouTube channel, how to create restorative outcomes in my life to combat whatever the negative is that you're dealing with. And if you put that in there, the YouTube, right, will give you a bunch of different narratives and a bunch of different experiences based off of what people are actually dealing with. Actually, people will be on the different YouTube streams that will actually talk to you and give you different frames of reference on how they dealt with those situations. Another thing that I'm doing is I'm drinking. I'm creating a different mood. I'm drinking some turmeric and ginger tea right here from Trader Joe's. I'm baking some cookies, right? And I'm also just sitting here relaxing in a very therapeutic environment. And so those are tips that you can use to help you to change your situation, right? To change your mood, to create a different outcome, right? I'm taking action steps, right? So I called some creditors yesterday. I got some payment on a payment plan. I extended one situation for myself for 6 months where they lowered the interest rate, right? And it's not going to affect my credit score. And so these are things that you need to begin to do, right? I'm actually taking action. I'm not allowing myself to just sit there and continue to be weakened, but I'm doing some things to help restore my mindset, to help me get in a better mood, to feel better about myself, right? And so I'm hoping that, you know, those tips will help you. I'm hoping that there was something that I said on this YouTube stream today that can help you to put yourself in a better situation and circumstance. I'm hoping that if you still, you know, can't get yourself in a better situation, that you can, you know, for one, subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and also, you know, you can contact me. You know, my email address is hope, HOPE, Hope Universal at yahoo.com. You can also put a comment in here. You can actually purchase this journal. You can purchase this journal from me, right? So you can email me at hopeuniversal at yahoo.com. And you can purchase a journal from me. And this journal can help you as far as processing your emotions. It can help you with planning. It can help you with being able to pinpoint on a day-to-day basis how you're feeling. It can help you with focus. It can help you with taking steps of and acts of self-care, right? Such as meditation, such as getting out and going for a walk, such as getting your nails or your toes done, getting a massage, going on a bike ride, taking a trip. There are many things that you can do as far as acts of self-care, and I actually have a section here in my journal that can help you to do that, because there's many things that you need to do in order to stay in the game, to stay in this race called the game of life. And so this journal can help you. It has a to-do list in here as well, a place where you can set goals and questions in each section to help to push you forward into becoming a better, successful person in your life that can help you to make a mark, not only for yourself, but for your community, for your family, and for your friends. All right, so that's all I have today. And have a successful day. And remember, if it is to be, it's up to you. Talk to you soon. God bless. And again, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you soon.